when I was putting guitars up on the wall. So I can see white on that side. There you go. Okay. There you go. All right. You know what? That's pretty damn good, Chris. I didn't know if you were going to make it in today, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it snowed, you know.
It did snow. It wasn't, the visibility was bad in the foothills, but other than that, and traffic wasn't great, but just everything just took me 5 minutes longer. You know, I went and got gas.
Yeah.
That took me longer.
Yeah.
And
Right.
left the house late. That was an issue.
Kev says, did I just stumble on this? Maybe, Kev. I have no idea. You know what? No.
This is live.
Time to be more decisive. Yes, Kev, you did Friday just morning, stumble on this.
Friday the 18th. It's my dad's birthday.
Is that right? Happy birthday, little Dickie Fesker, Paperboy of the Year.
Paperboy of the Year, little Dickie Fesker.
Well, hey, everybody. We're running a little bit late because it snowed here. It's actually a blizzard in Colorado right now. You might not know this.
Here.
Hey, roads are closed, dude. Not everywhere, but some places there
might be a road that's closed.
I-70's closed. Loveland Pass is closed.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I did see that on the news.
Guanella Pass is closed. What's that one that goes from Estes Park to Woodland Park? No, not Woodland. To Loveland.
Oh, I don't even know.
You know, the one that there's snow drifts, like it's only open like 1 month a year or something. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of roads closed here. Yeah, don't move here, especially if you're, you know what I'm not going to say.
Susceptible to the cold.
Yeah, that's definitely what you don't want. Anyhow,
it was 75 yesterday.
So,
let's talk more about the weather.
Yeah, no, let's not. I'm ready to move right on. Stupid weather talk.
When it devolves to weather, then you know you're in trouble.
So there's a lot of guys here. Joy is here. Twilight Nights is here. That's a new name. I don't recognize you. Lefty's here. Eric is here. Doc is here. Dan is here. Kev, as we already talked about, is here. Paul is here. Doug Seidlitz is here. Shark Air is here. Bad Joke Guitars is here. What's up with you, sir? Or madam, I don't know. I'm assuming sir. There's not a lot of ladies who are nerdy enough to hang around here. Okay, Joy and Amanda, I'm not talking about you. You're not nerdy at all. Also, Sarah, you're not nerdy. You know who doesn't watch us? You know who I bet you has no idea who we are? Is that, what's her name? Cindy Guitars in New York, who builds all this shit out of old crap wood. They're neat, but yeah. The reason I say that, Chris, is I've been looking at old crap wood. Woo, it's so much more work to use a log than it is to buy lumber. Anyway, so Chris, today is the last day of our what's the best guitar you can get for X amount of dollars. And this was the easiest day by far.
Okay.
Easiest day. Would you not agree? Have you picked yours?
Yeah.
Okay. And all the other days were really hard because not because you can't get a good guitar, but because it's like you're making a bunch of compromises, you know? And the fact of the matter is that being cool costs money, you know? And if you want to have exactly the guitar you want, unless you just so happen to have the most vanilla pedestrian, tastes, you're going to have to pay. Right. If the Strat is your favorite guitar and your pan ultimate guitar, then it's easy to get a good Strat at almost any price. Yeah. You know, but if you want anything different, or if you, I don't know, like the whole notion of changing out hardware and stuff like, what do you think? I'm going to,
I think, when you're spending max dollars, you should get exactly what you want without having to swap a bunch of stuff. That being said, I think a lot of people still do that. It's still not the perfect guitar, but yeah.
And some people I would put myself into this, and maybe you too. Some people just like to tinker with stuff, you know, and kind of fidget with it. Yeah. But I don't think that, to me, buying a cheap guitar and upgrading all the stuff does not necessarily fall into the realm of tinkering and fidgeting as much as I'm trying to pull a fast one or whatever. I don't know what you guys do. So anyway, are you ready to
sure.
to divulge?
Sure. I copped out. I just bought the most expensive non-custom shop Fender Jazzmaster I could.
That's very telling. I told you guys that I would not do this, but in a very characteristic change of heart, I've been saying for years, since 2019, when we did that first NAMM show, I've been saying that I'll put our guitars up against anybody's.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't decide, like, if I said, oh, I'm going to pick Collings, or I'm going to pick Castadosa, or I'm going to pick insert name of your favorite guitar company here, I'm going to upset some of my friends. Hey, how come you picked him over me? So I can't do that. But what I can do is say that if you buy a Challenger Level 4, that is the best guitar you can get for any amount of money. Now, there are going to be some people who say, well, I don't like the shape, or I don't like, well, be that as it may. There's nothing that is any better on any other guitar made by anybody else in the world that our guitars don't have. Yeah, am I saying that right?
Yeah, it sounds right to me.
I mean, you can get any combination of anything you want. And if you're willing to pay for stuff, sure, we'll do that. We even have started saying things like, you guys don't know this, but, we don't spray nitrocellulose. But it is possible that there's even a guitar behind me right now that has nitrocellulose lacquer on it. And some people are like, well, you don't offer you don't offer this, you don't offer that. We offer everything. You're not willing to pay for it. Yeah. So if you're willing to pay, we are willing to play. Just ask Mike Sleva, who sent me an email this morning about how much he loves his guitar, and he has it up on the wall. It's covered with gloss paint, and and has a bunch of stuff that we would never normally do. Mm-hmm. But that thing was rad. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm choosing the Challenger Level 4 because you can get it any way you want. Why did you choose the Jazzmaster?
Honestly,
did you say custom shop Jazzmaster?
No, I said non-custom shop.
Oh,
anything
okay.
The next step up in that guitar is custom shop for over double the price.
Okay.
So the guitar I picked was $2,600. The next step up is $6,000.
All right. Now I'm not trying to make you feel a certain way.
Right.
So what I'm going to say is, why don't we make because you have one. You have a Texas Toast version of a Jazzmaster.
Yeah.
Why don't we make more of those?
I don't know. We've talked about it.
If your favorite guitar, or what you would choose as the best guitar you can buy for any amount of money, and you agree with my pick, we need to make more Jazzmaster shapes, because we're eliminating you and guys like, it's okay, it's all right, it's okay.
I got an itch, not a tear.
Sad. Okay, all right. It's okay. We need to make more of those guitars,
sure.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, or something like it.
Yeah. There's nothing on the wall that's even remotely like it.
Yeah, there's one feature on one of them, on two of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys ready to go to the comment section and see what y'all have to say? Millhouse Paul is going up against a Plek. Going to be fun. That's a great one. We should have done that video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How are they going to determine the winner?
I don't know. Doc says Texas Toast guitar, but who would you guys pick? That's the $1 million question. Paul versus the Plek machine? I guess I don't understand. Paul Hall says that he would put us up against any Plek machine. Well, we have done that video, and I was just being a turd when I said we ought to do it. You guys may or may not have seen the video, but we've done that video, and I think we fared, actually quite well.
Yeah.
The real problem with that video, clearly you guys don't want to talk about guitars at any price that's the best. You want to talk about Plek machine. That's fine. The problem with that is who judges, right? And like you said, how do you know who wins?
Yeah.
So to me, I think the Plek machine is a neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
But if the guitar is set up like you like
mm-hmm.
and doesn't buzz, is there room for improvement? I guess. but at some point you're just like, well, what does that mean? Oh, the action is lower or higher and it still doesn't buzz? Or if you have a guitar that buzzes all over the place because the frets are not level, a Plek machine could sort that out for you. But yeah, I think just building the guitar correctly from the get-go saves a lot of that.
Yeah.
So how else would you say it, Chris, while I'm drinking coffee?
I don't know. People manage to play guitar before Plek machines.
Mm-hmm.
Play them really, really well.
I had you heard the idea that I don't know. So I think it was actually the Edge, whatever that guy's name is. Well, his name's probably like
I forget what it is.
Oh, you actually heard it one time?
Yeah.
Okay. He said that he had an Explorer that was a vintage one. He had it Pleked, and then he hated it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, the Plek. What do you even know what a Plek machine does? Guy who doesn't even have a real person's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
How would that, it doesn't make it more in tune.
No,
it doesn't.
No, well, and whatever the setup parameters were changed.
Yeah.
Now you could presumably go back, and it was probably an action thing. The action was probably it was probably too low. People say they like low action. Most people don't like low action. They like medium action, average action.
Yeah.
Is what I've come to discover.
That's right.
And guys that Plek guitars like to make the action low because everybody says, I like my action low.
Yeah.
But playing a guitar that has really, really low action is different than playing one that doesn't. And being able to dig into the strings and stuff like that. If you're a big bender, you got to get your fingers under the string a little bit as you're pushing it up. And anyway, that's what I think.
So Jay says that he loves his level 4. He hasn't even gotten it yet, and he's thinking about the second one. Brian Duncan misunderstood the whole concept of the video again and says he would take any late 50s or early 60s Flying V or Explorer. I think in the thing it says new guitar, Brian. I'm sorry to call you out on that, but
the funny thing about today's was, there's no price limit. I've never shopped with no price limit,
but it still says new guitar.
So I had a hard time with that whole concept.
Yeah.
And frankly, spending above a certain dollar range for me gets weird and creepy.
Bad Joke Guitars also doesn't understand the concept of the video and says any guitar at any price. 1976 Starcaster Blonde. It has to be a new guitar. You have to be able to just go buy it. Yeah, Lefty, some people just don't follow the rules. This is the one time I've ever agreed with Lefty too. So yeah, see what you guys are doing to me. You're killing me. I tease. So
yeah.
Anyway, Chris, well, so what did you think of this experiment, doing a video every day talking about some stupid topic?
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
What do you want? Okay, now you're taking some time off next week.
I am. So it's just going to be you.
Yeah, unless I decide to take some time off because,
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
Brian Duncan sent us a super chat probably because he got the rules totally wrong and says it would be new to me. Ad free still rock. Yeah, okay. So this is like what we were talking about this morning when you came in. I said, I think that it is someone out there, Brian Duncan, thinks it's his job to skirt around everything that I do to try and make me, be new to me. Yeah. So he kind of like, this is like this gray area.
I've never owned those before.
Yeah.
How much more new does it get?
And so to me, it's like as of today, I am today years old when I'm discovering that it is my job to preempt all of you bozos into getting it right. Yeah, you, Brian. And so anyway, yeah, when you guys see the new workshop offerings, there will be a bunch of notes based on stuff that you guys have tried to pull over the last 6 years.
Stupid questions.
That's right.
FASQs. If you have to ask, it's probably a no.
Yeah. Okay. See, now Bad Joke Guitars finally gets around. Okay, good. Thank you. You're and he says American Pro Jazz Master in dark night finish. Was that like a dark, super dark blue, almost black?
Know. Probably, yeah. Dark Knight. That might be the blue black.
The Batman finish. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. It's a pretty neat looking guitar.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone here is saying hi to Joy. Everyone wants to hang out with my woman. They don't want to hang out with me, and that's totally cool. I totally get it. I don't want to hang out with me.
We're here. We're on.
Get used to it.
Well, I mean, people just take it for granted.
Yeah. Hey, so what should we talk about next week?
I don't know. Let's think about that today. And
I have an idea already.
Okay.
Now, but you might want to save this because you might want to do more of these.
Yeah, because I'm only going to be here Monday.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the most, like what's the most important guitars of the last, or important designs or important innovations and stuff like that in the guitar.
In all of guitar.
In all of guitardom. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Sure, that would be a fun one. Let's do that one the week after.
So you want to get in on that? Okay. So what's a really dumb one that I can cover while you're not here? Like, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
If you had to go to my birthday party, what would you bring me?
Does green sound better? Yes, it does.
Oh wait, Doc says go back and see my first comment. Playing by the rules. Is it one of my guitars, Doc? Because any other answer is wrong. Oh yeah, he says Cower or Frank Brothers are cool, but I would pick one of yours. Oh, God bless you, Doc. I'd get another Challenger, maybe a level 4 this time, or a tricked out prostitute. So I like Doug Cower. And the Frank Brothers guys were very, very cool dudes. We met them in January. Nice guys. Johnny Appleseed, don't tell me your favorite innovation. Save it for the things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys got to tune in. I'm not, because here's the thing. I'm not going to remember. I'm not even going to read it because I'm not going to. I'll get it wrong. So please tune in and tell us in the live thing, and I'll be better at reading them. In fact, I'm going to go and read from now. I'm going to read everyone's thing right now. I did go back and see Doc's comment. Jeffrey Egan says, to be quite honest, Texas Toast Guitars has killed my desire to seek out a new best guitar. My TTG guitars are all I need. That is a lovely thing to say.
We got a nice note from a guy yesterday, too, that said something similar.
We did.
Is always nice to hear because you want people to like your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, the only time you hear from them is, well, you just don't.
Yeah.
You send them the guitar and that's that.
Shark Air, who has met us and clearly does not like us, says Nick Hubler guitars. So yeah, okay. Johnny Appleseed says my favorite innovation right now is the Hipshot Baby Grand that just threw on my Junior. I got to figure out what the spring sound like. They vibrate through which upsetting that. Yeah, I like the shape of the Baby Grand bridge, but we've never used that as a regular feature.
We've had some guys use them in class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to do other than
it looks cool.
It looks.
Yeah,
if that's all it does, then that's fine.
In many ways, it does everything that the Leo Kwan Badass did with a slightly svelter appearance.
Yeah. Okay.
Anchored the strings and adjusted the saddles.
Yeah.
Paul Hall says if I had a lotto win, I'd definitely get a top of the range TTG set of guitars made. So that would be the Icon and the Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
Lefty says his favorite color is clear. I wonder what his favorite flavor jelly bean is. Plain. Yeah, Jeff, once you own a Challenger and an Icon, what more do you need? Thank you, Dan. Plus, Jeffrey Egan owns a couple of TTG Strats, I think, too. Let's see. Lefty says not hearing from people means they aren't bitching. Yeah, and that's kind of a thing, right? Usually we always hear about something if
Well, yeah, we don't feel those emails daily.
No.
It's a fairly rare occurrence, but
I want you to know too that
give people time to kind of get to know the guitar. I think that's a real thing. So.
We had a guitar that we just shipped yesterday. It was supposed to have luminescent side dots, and the neck came from Steve, and there was something wires got crossed, and the neck didn't have luminescent side dots. So the guy sent it back. He was like, "Hey, it doesn't have glow side dots," and I wanted those. Fine. So he sent it back. We put them in, and we had to refinish the whole guitar. that was a big job.
Yes.
I drilled out the old things and put new dots in, and then made a big mess that you had to clean up. But that was a big job, and that's something that people don't really think about is warranty work. Warranty work can kill you.
It can.
So
yep.
Anyway.
Yeah. and in most industries, warranty work don't pay.
No.
They don't pay for your time.
No.
So yeah, but hey.
Martin Murray says I'd get an Ultra 2 Fender Meteora. What is that?
The Meteora is that funky shape, that new, more modern looking shape that they do. I'm not sure of that model. The funny thing is, I pay very, very little attention to what Fender does.
Yeah.
On a year-to-year basis.
Because this is always
a little bit of stuff, but as far as most of it, I'm like, okay, I get a lot of stuff in my feed because I look at just enough of it for the bots to take over and show me things I should be buying.
What do you think about funky shapes?
I like funky shapes.
I hate them.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I would never, ever, ever make a funky shaped guitar.
There you go.
There you go. Or would I? Okay.
Would I?
Peg
leg.
Anyway, gang, well, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you Sunday, unless you're a Patreon member, and then I'll see you on Saturday. So thanks for playing, and thanks for coming up with all the answers. It was I thought this was going to be more. I thought it was going to be easier to do than it turned out to be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. The funny thing is, all the guitars that I picked are all over Facebook and my Yahoo and all that. They're like, oh, he's showing interest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bad Joke Guitars is calling me out. He's like, I see funky.
Of course you do.
I wonder if I was I wonder if I was trying to get Maybe I was
you were trying to elicit a response, and you just got.
And I just got it. Yeah. All right. Okay, gang. Well, we will see you later this weekend. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm going to the baseball game in the snow tonight.
Oh, that's right.